So we're back for another video. So I actually didn't do anything last week just because I didn't really want to. I took a week off. Why not? So this week I thought I'd start off easy with a little simple tutorial on how to create your own Minecraft server on your own computer. This is great if you want to just try out some Minecraft server plugins and you don't really want to, you just want to do it single player, or maybe even creating your own little private SMP. You can technically connect your friends and all that together and have your own private server, and you don't have to pay anything as long as you've got a computer that's powerful enough. Now obviously this is for the Java edition, but I'm going to show you how to set up the actual server and connect to it from your own computer. Now I'm going to be using a Windows computer running Windows 10. You need a computer with at least 8 gigs of RAM really to kind of have enough room there, but you could get away with 4 gigabytes if you're just running the Minecraft server. 2 gigabytes probably wouldn't work very well. So first thing you need to do for this is obviously make sure you have Java installed. Now I know that sounds kind of silly, but I'm pretty sure Minecraft actually comes with its own version of Java, so you have to actually install it separately if you want to run your own server. So from then you need to actually get a Minecraft server. I know this is all going so quick, isn't it? We're going to be using paper.jar. This is kind of the go-to server fork at the moment for Minecraft servers. It's not the best, but it's a lot better than Spigot, and Spigot's obviously a lot better than Bucket, and Bucket it's kind of hard to obtain anyway these days. So we're going to be using this. All you have to do is go to the downloads. So we're just going to download the latest build from this page. This is build 550. Now this is for paper 1.16.5, as you can see. If you want an older version, there is actually a legacy button at the very bottom of the page. If you go in here, you can see we can get builds for 1.15, 1.14, 1.13, 1.12, 1.11, 1.10, 1.9, 1.8. I don't know why anyone would want to run any of them versions. It's going to be the most stable, most secure, and have the most features, obviously being the latest version of Minecraft. Especially when Minecraft 1.17 comes out, that's going to be insane. So we're just going to download this file. It's quite a big file, but we're just going to... Now what we're going to do is we're going to save it into a folder on our desktop. So I'm just going to call this paper. We're just going to create a folder called paper, and we're going to save it in there. So as you can see, our download's complete and we've got our folder open here. As you can see, paper 1.16.5. So what we need to do now is create a file to actually start the server. This is called a bat file or a batch file. The easiest way to do this is with Notepad. So we're going to open Notepad. That's quite easy to do. I think like a brand new version of Windows 10 doesn't actually have a Notepad installed. Although I've never experienced that myself, so you may need to install Notepad. And you're going to want to type this. Or you can paste it in. I'll try and leave it in the description maybe. So as you can see here, we're in the paper folder and we're going to name this start.bat. And we're going to change text documents here to all files. That's important. If you don't change that, this will not work. It just needs to be saved as a bat file, not a text document. So we're going to hit save, and we can then close that. And we now have a start.bat file. So what we're actually going to do now is actually rename this jar file as well. You probably saw that I actually used the name paper.jar in the start.bat. I usually do that simply because it's a lot easier. It means that to update the server, you just delete the paper.jar and get a new paper.jar. So as you can see, when we start this server, it's actually going to come up like this, downloading vanilla jar. And this is to get around the DMCA stuff with all the old Bucket stuff. If you're old enough to remember that, you're an OG Minecraft player. And essentially what this is doing is it's downloading the Minecraft server from the Minecraft website, and then it's going to patch it with some patch stuff, and somehow that gets away with the DMCA stuff, makes it proper. Just sounds like extra work for us, but this might take a while, especially if you've got a slower computer, because it needs to basically download and patch and do a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to cut the video here and it'll come back once this is finished doing its thing. As you can see, it's literally just started doing it, and there we go. So it's now going to try and start the server, and it might complain. As you can see, it complained. So you'll almost certainly get this when you first do the server. It will say you need to open the euler.txt, and again, this is another annoying thing. I remember when a Minecraft server was simple. You just download a jar file, hit go, and it worked. No Euler, no DMCA. Ugh. So as you can see, this folder now has stuff in it. And the main one you want to worry about is the euler.txt. And in here, all you need to do is change Euler equals false to Euler equals true. What this is saying is that you've read and agreed the Minecraft and Mojang Euler. Does anyone actually read that though? You also agree that tacos are tasty. Okay. So, now that we've agreed to our Euler, we can actually start the server. But maybe you want to have a look in this server.properties file while you're here. So in this server.properties file, there's actually quite a few things that might be useful to check out. For example, you can change how big the spawn protection is. So by default, there's a 16 block or 16 chunk spawn protection? It's one of them too. And that means that only operators of the server can build in the spawn. Quite useful. Other things, for example, you can force the game mode so that no one can physically change their game mode even if they have the permissions. You can enforce the whitelist so that only players that you allow can connect to the server. You can change the default game mode from survival to creative. You can change the default difficulty. It defaults to easy, believe it or not. It doesn't default to normal, but you can change it to normal if you want. You can disable or enable PvP, spawning monsters. There is a lot of fun in here. Command blocks is quite a good one if you're crazy like me. There's also hardcore in here. That's quite a fun one as well. It bans people when they die. Or puts them in spectator. I can't remember which one it does. You can change how many maximum players you can have, the max world size. All this stuff is in here and you can edit all of this to do whatever you want. MOTD, this is actually a useful one to change. This is what shows up in the Minecraft server list. So let's do VisualCody is boss. Like so, and that will actually show up in our server list. So now let's do our start.bat again. And this time, because it's already patched the jar file, it's going to be a lot quicker. So the first time it starts the server, it's also going to have to regenerate the worlds because there is no world. So obviously this is when having a faster computer will definitely help. Apparently I'm using an outdated version of Java as well. Oh well, doesn't matter. I never update Java on this computer. This computer's been around for about 4 years, so yeah. Maybe I should update. That actually generated the world quite quickly. Interesting. Loaded 0 chunk. I feel like that should have taken longer. I'm scared that this hasn't worked now. So let's actually try and connect to our server. Of course the Minecraft launcher wants to update right now. So we're back here in Minecraft and we're going to add our new server. So we're going to go to multiplayer, and as you can see you get your server list. None of my servers are online, as you can see. And what you want to do is you want to go down here to the add server button. Now there is 3 valid things you can put in here if you are running your server on the same computer that you're running Minecraft on. You can either put localhost 127.0.0.1, or you can do the one that I like because it's the shortest, ::1. That'll work. And there we go. Instantly works. Let's join. And would you look at that? What a lovely Minecraft world. We've spawned right on top of a stony mountain thing. Obviously the world generation is going to be a bit slower because we're filming at the same time and running the server on the same computer, but obviously I'm in survival right now, and normally I'm actually in creative mode when I do these videos just because less chance of just randomly dying. So you might want to change your game mode, and there is obviously commands, and some of you might know this, but as you can see we don't have permission. So how do we get permission? Well, it's quite simple. As you can see here, here's our console, and all we have to do is type OP to op player, and we're going to do VisualCody. Made VisualCody a server operator. So now back in the game we can see I'm now an operator, which means I can do Game mode. Creative. Haha. Take that, world. I can now fly. It's that simple to do that. And obviously you usually only have one person on your server as an operator, usually the person who's running the server, and that just means they can run a lot of other commands. The whitelist command is quite simple. We can add users to the whitelist, we can list the whitelist, we can turn it on and off, reload it, and remove people from the list. Let's do the list. There are no whitelisted players, so obviously this is very useful if you're making your server public, because you can have it so only 3 people that you have said can join on this whitelist can join. So that's a very handy command to do, very easy to use. So for example, I can add myself. I don't need to be on the whitelist because I'm an op, but there we go. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, maybe hit that subscribe button, it would really help me out. Leave a like and maybe even a comment on the video. Maybe I can do an updated version that's even better than this when 1.17 comes out. I think this will be good enough for now. So yeah, see ya in the next video. Bye.